Live today with some nomadic news for you guys. Be sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, share, and of course, subscribe for more content, epic, cool, awesome, funny content just like this one right here, right now on the Nomadic Cole YouTube channel. And guys, boy, do I have a treat for you. Because today I've got you guys nomadic news. That's right, people. It is time for nomadic news once again. A live stream that I'm trying to pump out as often as possible. And I know a lot of my viewers, some of you guys don't like long stream format. So I'm trying to see what happens, trying to see how many people respond to the live stream. Looks like one person's in the live stream, but I'm just trying to see how many people respond to the live stream right now as well. So we're doing another nomadic news, and we're gonna see, how great this live streaming thing goes. If you guys like the live stream, give the video a like, give video a thumbs up, um, and leave a comment, of course. That's always appreciated. Um, so, yeah, let's get on and let's get into the news. First and foremost, news today. One of the big news stories of the hour is that recently there was a school shooting in Iowa. Now, guys, they said that the school shooter may have been a transgender person. Um, and there was a lot of they used a lot of social media, and there was something in their activity on social media that they haven't really released to the public yet, but we're going to see soon. And guys, it's so unfortunate when these shootings happen. It's such a terrible event. Um, it's just such a sad, you know, reflection of like what drives a person to go to this. It's just a sad reflection of how sometimes society can be very bad, just be very terrible. And a lot of people with mental issues sometimes they go over the breaking point, and that's what causes a lot of these shootings, which is just terrible. And I'm just you just have to think, like, it makes you really, really think. What, like, we need to have better mental health services in the United States. I know this is opinion piece, but you know, we need to have better mental health services in the United States to help out some of these people. I think that's one of the big issues, and people really need to speak up. Like many people on the news media have been saying, that people need to start speaking up when they see people being bullied or whatever. Um, you know, they see that people need to speak up because these terrible events can happen. Now, I'm also a Second Amendment, absolutist. I think, you know, almost every single citizen in the United States should be able to get a firearm. And I think that, as a citizen, if you're going to get a firearm as a responsible gun owner, you need to keep your firearms locked. And I think gun owners should, you know, be in some sort of way required to, you know, go along and pass some sort of gun safety test, maybe a really easy, or not super easy, but a common sense 30 question test, you know, to get a permit before you can get a firearm. and there should also be some sort of criminal background check as well. But as far as that, that's all the restrictions I have, that I would say that there should be on guns. So, yes, we should, help out with mental health, but also it is unfortunate that the Democrats are probably going to go after more gun control and try to leverage this shooting to try to and work on the emotions of American voters and try to get anti-gun legislation passed, which is unfortunate. You don't want to see it. Um, yeah, but here is the next topic on the list is that um, something crazy has recently happened, and it's that Donald Trump has been taken off the ballots in both Colorado and Maine. Now, if you ask me, Skip, if you ask me, here's my opinion on it: is that this is wrong and unconstitutional. They're calling Trump an insurrectionist because of what happened on Jan 6th, but at the same time, they haven't charged Donald Trump on any of these charges. So they can't even they're not even allowed to do this, but they're trying to undergo an uh old constitutional loophole uh from the 14th Amendment to try and take Trump off the ballot. There's a Hail Mary by the Democrat establishment party to try to take President Donald Trump off the ballot. And they're also trying to keep Robert F. Kennedy Jr. off the ballot as well because they've placed far more restrictions on independents than they've placed on Republicans. Now, this is important to know, though, because there's a lot of division in America right now, and we're not seeing a lot of coming together, which is unfortunate. And we need to start having civil discussions again. But it seems like political division, the two-party system, is just continuing to be used to divide Americans. And there's nothing that, they're trying to keep it so that there's nothing that Americans can unite behind, and so that we're always at each other's throats as working class, while the rich billionaires and corporations and the federal government try to take advantage of your rights and try to, you know, take all your money, basically. And it's just terrible. It's terrible to see that. And, it needs to be stopped. And that's what Robert F. Kennedy's campaign is about he promises in his campaign that for all of Americans, that he wants no divides, that he wants no more right versus left. He wants no more chronic disease, no more pollution, no more open borders, no more endless wars, no more destroying the middle class, no more corrupt news, and no more censorship, which I think is something that this isn't something that should be hard to ask for, Skip. But unfortunately, the establishment is being disingenuous with the public, and they want to keep people uninformed. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see that people are so uninformed. That and we need to, as a society, come together as a country and vote in a politician who doesn't play politician but actually cares about America. And that's what I think the Kennedy campaign is. Of course, that's my opinion. Other people's will have their own opinions, and that's perfectly fine too. And I'm completely open to debating that with other people. So, I'm completely open with that. And I think those are discussions that we should have, because it's really unfortunate to see uh, such a divide in the country. Other news is that Hamas and Israel are continuing to fight. There was a ceasefire temporarily, and multiple hostages were thankfully saved and and they were able to come home. But unfortunately, there was a lot of hostages that were killed by both Hamas and the IDF. The IDF actually ended up friendly firing a lot of a few hostages, not a lot of them, but a few hostages. They ended up killing hostages, and this is the problem that I'm having right now with Israel is that I don't know, but if it's from a military perspective, as military leadership, you'd think, well, maybe there's some sort of problem, maybe there's some sort of logistical problem, maybe something is going on that causes that every week that there's a friendly fire incident within the IDF. But whatever it is, it needs to be trained out of these soldiers because this is, you can't go around killing civilians. You can't go around killing hostages. You can't have this, and there needs to be repercussion. And I'm sure there is some inside the IDF that some people are being reprimanded for their actions if they've done this. But whatever it is, there needs to be some sort of change because this can't just keep happening. You know what I mean? There needs to be some sort of change. Someone needs to be held accountable, and these issues they need to be solved because you can't just keep having friendly fire every single week. But that's basically the news about Israel. That and there's other forces from the Middle East, um, including the Houthis, trying to attack United States Navy ships, which is pretty crazy. Um, they're going to get destroyed. Um, and yeah, if you ask my prediction on the Israel Palestine war, I will say that Israel is going to most likely crush Gaza. However, if Israel crushes Gaza and tries to take over the land, it's going to be other countries are going to go, and they're already doing this. Other countries are already getting involved, but other countries are really going to try to start a war with them. And it would be a serious, that'll be a new box of marbles in its own self. And I've got a little bit more news here. Let's look it up real quick. All right. I've got some sports news. Sports news recently is the Ravens defeated the Miami Dolphins and the Dallas Cowboys defeated the Detroit Lions in a game scored 20-19. There was supposedly a questionable call on the field. However, it was pretty obvious that there was an illegal man on the field. So you can't have an extra man on field. It's not fair. So good call by the refs, and the Cowboys ended up taking the win that day. And as for the Ravens and Dolphins, the Ravens just trampled the Dolphins most of the game. It seemed a little close at the beginning, but it got away from the Dolphins pretty damn fast. I'll say that. That's for sure. Other news: Conor McGregor is likely not going to be on UFC 300 because of a camp injury. And other news in boxing: Jake Paul fought a bum and won, and then met with Vivek Ramaswamy after the show to boast about it. And then in WWE news, CM Punk is in WWE now, apparently. And CM Punk is trying to feud with Seth Rollins. They're angry. CM Punk is going to be in the Royal Rumble from what I hear, and they're having a feud against each other, which some people think is interesting. But in my opinion, I think CM Punk is going to cause a lot of trouble. He's mad that he probably won't be getting the main event spot because he'll be overshadowed by Roman versus The Rock, which is also going to be happening in WWE, another big event. And meanwhile, Cody Rhodes is nowhere to be found. And Dave Meltzer is, of course, marking out to AEW as always. Anyways, that is the end of this Nomadic news. Be sure you guys leave yourself a like, leave the video a like, leave me a comment, and of course, subscribe for more. Thank you guys.